Let us continue.
What? What?
What's going on here?
You
Is he
serious?
really dead? He's not pretending to be dead, is he? I mean, it's Nagito, you know? That's right, it's Nagito. He always messes with us. He always tries to confuse us. That's why. I can't believe it. Nagito ended up in such a full state. Nagito is dead. Deep down, I believe that when the killing finally ended, I'd never see this guy again. Never expected I'd be looking at Nagito's body like this. Nagito probably thought the same thing. I can help seeing it in his dead, trying face. On this island, unbelievably abnormal occurrences happen all the time. Even Nagito couldn't escape the truth. Even something as small as that. Ding dong, ding dong dong ding. A body
has been discovered. Now then, after a certain amount of...
Don't tell me.
The body discovery announcement. Then it's for real.
Hey!
Then Nagito is really dead.
Damn it.
It's not just that he's dead. The body discovery announcement was made. Does that mean Nagito was killed? Killed?
That's right.
Plus, it's one of us. I mean, that's what it means, right? One of us killed Nagito. One of us killed him so brutally. Then it's gonna start again. Huh? The class trial's going to start soon, right? Then...
Of course!
We gotta do it! We gotta find out who killed Nagito.
Hey! Hey!
No matter who you guys sacrifice, you're determined to survive and leave this island, right?
Shing!
Then the time for action is now. So allow me to give you the familiar Monokuma
Wait!
Hold it right there!
Damn it!
What? Don't get in my way like that. I was about to wipe out the Monokuma file in such a cool way.
You stupid brother!
I can't stand this anymore.
Got it?
How much longer are you gonna keep putting them through this? No more, I won't let you. I'll make sure I pulverize your evil intentions.
Hey, hey!
Say something.
What's this?
Oh, now I remember who you are. You're Monami. You just now noticed?
Like...
Anyway, Monami, if you're gonna talk about my intentions, why don't you talk about yours first? Huh? What are your intentions anyway? Why are you keeping everyone cooped up on this island? I'm sure everyone here wants to know, you know? What? Not fair. You're showing up too.
Wait!
Enough already. We already have enough to deal with concerning Nagito. Please don't say anything else that will confuse us.
Hey.
Anyway, let's begin. Huh? But
This is just...
I mean, in the end, we still have to do it, right? As long as the killing happens, we can't do anything about it, right? We have no choice but to do it, right? Besides, it's our fault that we can even prevent it. I know that's not the only way we can survive, right?
Nice!
Looks like you kids are all way more well-behaved than Monami.
Don't fuck with me!
We're tired of this too, you know. That's why you'll definitely make sure to finish this good for good this time.
This is kind of depressing.
Does that mean you guys are getting bored of this school trip?
Actually...
Don't worry, the end is near. The end?
What's the matter?
Don't make a face like a pig that's about to become bacon. You already noticed it, right? The meaning behind that Monokuma timer. I guess there's only a few days left, huh? When the timer hits 0, 2 days from now, what will happen to us? The killing school trip will be over.
Hey!
If this is finally over,
You serious?
does that mean we can go home?
What are you gonna do?
Don't count your bears before they're hatched. Bears don't come from eggs. There's still something you gotta do before that, right?
So...
Once again, the Monokuma file!
Phew!
You guys need to find out who Nagito's killer is and survive the class trial. If this ends here, there won't be an afterword at all.
Do your best.
Okay.
Wait!
But hold on.
I won't forgive
I
you.
won't let you escape this time. Wait, right there. What do you guys think? If the school trip is nearly at an end, it's safe to think we can go home, right?
But still,
Kazuichi, I understand how you feel, but we need to focus on Nagito's case first.
Damn it!
Even if we can go home, it'll be the end of us if we screw up.
All right!
Then let's hurry up and solve Nagito's case. If only it were that simple. Of course it is never that simple.
however...
It's so nice to think everyone can go home, but that's impossible, right? I mean, someone in this room killed Nagito. There's a killer among us. The way those words began to sink into me. That was true of the previous cases, but was it really true this time? No matter how much I tried, I couldn't believe it. Because the victim was Nagito? Because his death was abnormally cruel? No, it wasn't just that. There's more to it than that. And whatever it was stuck inside me. First, we need to look at the Monokuma file. Victim is Nagito Kameda. The body was discovered inside the warehouse near Monokuma plushie factory. The estimated time of death is believed to be 9 noon sharp. Not only is there a spear stabbed into his stomach, there are multiple stab wounds on each of his thighs. Furthermore, there's a laceration on his left arm and a knife impaled into his right hand. What a tragic situation. Just reading this makes me depressed.
Huh?
Is there something wrong with this Monokuma file? Again? But what's wrong with it? Not only is there...
Yep.
It's definitely weird. Well, I guess I'll find out if I look around. That's what the investigation is for. Don't worry or form conclusions on your own. That makes me more worried than I should be. We can discuss this later. Right now is our only chance to investigate, so we should investigate first.
See?
If we don't, then there won't be anything for us to discuss. Well, I guess you're right. Let's start. Guessing Monokuma's dead. No response. He's dead, Jim. Just kidding, I'm not dead. Is this one of those life-size plushies that were produced? You're mistaking a plushie for me. There's something wrong with you. There's stuffed animal too. Don't go put oversized garbage there. It's so misleading.
What the heck?
What are you calling oversized garbage? Could this be one of Monokuma's tricks? Then why'd he do it? Making a hole like it got stabbed and going trouble burying the hole with blood? Did he try to imitate Nagito's fires?
What are you
It had nothing to do with that.
You're so evil!
He's probably lying. Seriously, you're always lying. You should just die like the plushie over there.
What's this?
You seem more pissed than usual these days, Mommy. But you better not watch what you say. If I feel like it, I can wipe you out as easily, you know. I won't give in to your threats. I'll fight you until the very end.
I can't lose!
I'll definitely take back the seat of world supremacy from Monokuma. Looks like those annoyances are gone. If it wasn't Monokuma's trick, then who did this? Did the killer have done this? So, is this Nagito's blood? have no idea how this connects to the incident. There's no way around it. That looks like a fatal wound.
What's this?
Oh my, what's this? Such a strange looking spear, isn't it? The cord extends from the tip of the handle, and there's an iron weight attached to it. I see. You use the cord as a whip to capture the enemy, and to deliver the final blow with a spear. Is this your first time looking at this too? Of course not. This is the spear of Benir, right? You definitely just came up with that.
Hey!
By the way, I wanted to ask you, where did the spear come from? I feel like I saw it using a castle.
What?
Is there a castle?
What the hell?
It's designed to be afraid of mice, so I can't go in there. Damn you mice. Damn you all to hell. Must have been in great pain. He clearly had this agonizing look on his face when he died. His mouth is covered in duct tape. Was this to keep him from screaming for help?
This is bad.
A horrible look on his face. Blood splattered all over doesn't help either. It's a good thing his mouth is covered in duct tape, otherwise I wouldn't be able to look at him. I've got a moment. Sorry, excuse me. Gyaki moved past Zuichi and me and squatted down next to his face. And in one swift moment, he was going to shear up the duct tape off his mouth. Hey, what are you doing?
It's gonna be
Oh,
fine.
it'll be fine. I'll put back away.
Hey!
Hey. Well, yep. See? Well? See? Well, it can't happen. You are...
Damn it! Huh? He's...
Just keep playing. Which means... You are...
It's time.
Well? Hey, hey.
Hey! Hey! Of course! Say what?
Oh my! It cannot be! I am sorry! Well? That is... Please listen! I see. However, the bomb was not real. It was merely a fireworks display.
Why would that be in a military?
God damn it! All to hell!
I see. So that's why you're the only one who knew the bombs had been...
I did. As did Mommy as well. She was also secretly peeking at the bomb. Which means... Hold it. Well? My... Well... Do you have a minute? Amazing! All right.
Enough? Hey,
Also...
what's this? What are you gonna do? Bye-bye!
with you! No! Hey, hey. Ta-da!
Hey! Why you?
That's wrong!
What?
Hey, hey!
What are you saying?
Well, you know, it's, how should I put it?
Bye-bye!
Excuse me?
Yep.
Interesting.
No.
Nanakuma's special poison.
Could it be?
Poison made specifically for killing someone. It's Monokuma's special poison. This enchanted liquid is highly potent and takes effect immediately. Please handle with care. Though its volatility is low, this liquid's extremely dangerous when vaporized. The gaseous state, it's heavier than air. It breaks down in minutes and is susceptible to hydrolysis. So it's possible for you to poison someone to death without any complications. Keep this liquid secure by storing it in a cool place, a glass or plastic container. This sure does look like a chemical made solely for poisoning someone to death. This refrigerator must be here to keep the poison secure.
Well? See? See? Wait. Hey, hey. Huh? You're right. My profile is really in here. But unfortunately, there doesn't seem to be any details.
Details?
Details about our missing memories. These profiles might have been written before...
And it's impossible to obtain new clues from them.
Yeah. Huh?
The file. His name isn't in there. There's supposed to be 16 names worth of profiles.
Who are you...
Byakuya. I'm talking about Byakuya Togami. Look carefully. No matter where I look, I don't see his name anywhere.
No way!
So what if the name isn't like written on the file? Perhaps, based on that, you think he might be the traitor? No, it's not just because his name's not written in here. That's not the only reason I think he's suspicious. He participated in the killing school. Plus, that's not him.
Too bad.
It's totally wrong. There's a completely different reason. A different reason.
You're getting all riled up.
How should I put this? You guys have been working, worked up about that Byakuya for no reason. Which means the great mystery that you think surrounds that Byakuya doesn't exist. Based on one person's cheap speculation.
What the heck?
Ultimate imposter. That page I was able to from one thing. Ultimate imposter. That's that big Byakuya's true identity. True identity. It was a fake that was pretending to be the ultimate affluent progeny, Byakuya Tagami. A fake.
Hey,
The fact that his profile is filled with question marks isn't a mistake or an oversight. Surprisingly enough, that's the correct information regarding him. The ultimate imposter has no name, no permanent address, and even his age and gender is unknown. Basically, he doesn't exist. Because he doesn't exist, he's able to exist as anyone. That's his talent. I am not jealous at all. That person wasn't really Byakuya Tagami.
Perhaps.
Is that why he was so much fatter compared to when he was involved in the killing school life?
so
His physique
cool.
doesn't affect his ability to fool others at will. All real imposters are skilled like that. Then he was lying to us this whole time,
But still.
but he couldn't help it. Why couldn't he help it?
Oh.
Because that was his talent, huh? Well, having talent means you're also bound to that talent. The moment you obtain talent, your way of life is already chosen for you. What's this, My Little Pony? You can't do anything except rely on the talent, regardless of whether you want to live that life or not. In that sense, compared to the other ultimates, your life might be a little bit more liberating. What the hell?
Anyway,
Anyway, I'm not happy that you guys fell for a scam that I had nothing to do with.
that's right.
So I'll tell you straight up, this revelation about Byakuya is exactly the truth. Then, what was he trying to say to me this whole time? Based on the context, if I had to guess,
No.
maybe he was just complaining about that he was cursed. To wander the earth as nothing more than a fraud. But if you guys had your school memories, he never would have been betrayed in the first place. I mean, it'd be different if you were meeting him for the first time. But since you guys went to Hope Peak Academy, you should have known the ultimate imposter already. So in the end, it all leads back to memory loss. So Future Foundation is awful. There's no way you should ignore Monami or the traitor.
Of course!
Could it be?
Hey,
Or is it?
correct!
Dong, bing, bong. That chime just now.
What is most important for living things? Well, personally, I think time is. I mean, your bank account may go up and down, but time, that's why we gotta cherish time. There is nothing more wasteful than wasting time. So, time's up. We will begin the last class trial.
The last class trial. He said that right. He said last class trial.
Yep.
Yeah, I heard it too. He really did say it was the last class trial. What do you think? Should we believe him? Monokuma seemed anxious about the Monokuma timer earlier, right? 2 more days. He said something about the killing school trip ending, right? Based on the time limit. This may definitely be the last one.
But still.
I can't imagine that it's real end. Huh? I think Monokuma's real plan might be beyond that point.
Well? But, right?
Monokuma rock.
Damn right. Huh?
Damn it.
Stupid fool!
Huh?
Got it?
I'll pick you up.
In order to become someone who can be proud of yourself, so I will fight.
Huh?
What's her deal? I do not really know, but she seems different from before. Maybe she read the self-help book,
Wait.
but her eyes, she looked determined.
You.
What can you tell just by looking at those bun eyes? Anyway, make sure you turn off Minimaru. It'd be annoying if it started talking during the trial. Oh, fine.
But still.
Somehow, I understand what Monami was saying, I think. Anyway, let's get going to the last class trial.
Yep.
You're right. We need to fight as much as we can, no matter what the hopeless truth awaits us at the end.
Yeah.
Sylvia, right? This will be the last time for this too, right? I hope so.
Well,
Let's worry about things after we're finished.
you are right.
More importantly, we must focus on the class trial before us. killer managed to kill someone like Nagito, there's no way this is going to go smoothly. I mean, I still can't believe one of us was able to do it. Nagito was problematic in many ways, but he was also a valuable asset during the trials. Yeah, you're right. In fact, during the Funhouse ordeal, we were completely dependent on him. Even if he's gone, the ones who survived need to stand and fight. We must fight. And then the door slowly opened. This bright light greeting us. Is that the light of hope? Or the light of despair?
Well now.
Well then, now that the Chairbox Nagito is gone, there's only 6 of you left.
Shut the hell up!
Enough, just fucking start this already.
Hey!
This is right. This is the last class trial, right?
Yep.
It sure is. So you gotta show some enthusiasm and make sure you give it all your all.
Alright!
Didn't he tell you? He said it. This is the end.
Now then.
Now then, let's get the trial started.
Viva killing!
This is the last class trial. Let's show some enthusiasm and kill each other. This is the 5th class trial. According to Monokuma, this is also the last class trial. That curtain is about to rise. Nagito Kameda, the ultimate lucky student. When I first met him, I thought he was a nice guy. He came across as very sociable. But his true nature held such a demented thought process that was nothing like his outward appearance. He said he believed in hope more than anything else. He said he was yearning for a powerful hope that can overcome any despair. He said he would even help despair just to prove that hope will never lose to despair. And he said he'd become a stepping stone for hope. His way of thinking was completely screwed up. But there was also times he saved us too. Someone like him was killed. That was the end of him. And I have no idea at all who did it, but there's no way we can end this without knowing. You will be consumed by despair. That's why we need to find out. Absolutely have to find out. The person who finished off Nagito, the killer who murdered Nagito. In order to return from this despair alive, we need to face the truth. If Monokuma says this is really being a class trial, that's all the more reason to do this. And so, this life-threatening trial, filling with hope and despair, the last one has begun. Is it really the last one, though? After all the... Trial, all rise!
Now then, let's speak during the class trial. If you vote correctly, then only I'll punish Oh my! Monami? My cute little... You've ascended the ladder of adulthood and reached the... Chesto! One more time! Jeez! How about this one? This will be my fine... It's useless.
Please stop! I feel bad for Monomi.
You're right. Now's not the time for me to horse around with Monami. The victim this time is Nagito, who was attempting to reveal the traitor for Who in the world killed him?
If he was killed for trying to reveal the traitor, that traitor is obviously the killer. They were trying to shut Nagito up.
No, that might not be it.
Huh? Are you trying to... Wait. Don't
say something so stupid!
Now that's more like it! Why don't you guys...
The killer didn't tape Nagito's mouth to shut him up. I'm telling you, they were torturing him.
The reason Nagito's body was covered with wounds
It's because the killer tortured Nagito.
So that's why he was so beat up. What were they trying to find out by torturing him? Definitely the bomb's hiding place.
No.
Damn it!
The killer didn't tape Nagito's mouth to shut him up. I'm telling you, they were torturing him.
The reason Nagito's body was covered with...
It's because the killer tortured Nagito.
So that's why he... What were they trying to find out? But definitely the bomb's hiding place. If so, the suspect is whoever found the bomb first.
That was Fuyuhiko. I found it by coincidence. There's no way I'd torture someone.
The killer didn't tape Nagito's mouth to shut him. I'm telling you, they were torturing him.
The reason Nagito's body was covered with wounds...
It's because the killer tortured Nagito.
No.
Killer didn't tape Nagito's mouth to shut him up. I'm telling you, they were torturing him.
The reason Nagito's body was covered...
It's because the killer tortured Nagito.
So that's why he was so... What were they trying to... Definitely the bomb's hiding place. If so, is whoever found the bomb first.
That was Fuyuhiko.
I found it by coincidence. There's no way I'd torture someone.
The killer didn't tape Nagito's mouth to shut him up. I'm telling you, they were torturing him.
The reason Nagito's body was covered with...
It's because the killer tortured Nagito.
No.
The killer didn't tape Nagito's mouth to shut him up. I'm telling you, they were torturing him.
The reason Nagito's body was covered...
It's because the killer tortured Nagito.
So that's why he was... What were they trying to find...
Hang on. I need to think about this. Like... what the heck? It's supposed to be...
Out by definitely the bomb's hiding place. If so, the suspect is whoever found the bomb first.
That was Fuyuhiko.
I found it by coincidence. There's no way I'd torture someone.
The killer didn't tape Nagito's mouth. I'm telling you, they were torturing him.
Makes sense.
The reason Nagito's body...
It's because the killer tortured Nagito.
Explain the duct tape.
No, that's wrong.
But Nagito's mouth was covered with duct tape, so he wouldn't have been able to confess anything. If he was being tortured for information, they wouldn't have taped his mouth like that.
I'm prepared.
Really?
Ah, I just realized it. It's a trap.
It's a trap.
Trap?
Stupid Hajime. You got caught in... Like you said, if Nagito's mouth was taped shut, he obviously assumed he couldn't talk, but that was the trap. He wanted to hide the fact that he got interrogated.
I can't back down! But if you tape his mouth shut, how is he supposed to answer anything?
Pay attention, this is how it went. First, the killer tortured Nagito and got information about... Then, after they killed him...
Allow me to cut through those words!
Why would that make... How would that work?
No, there's no doubt Nagito's mouth was covered.
What did you say?
Who cares about the duct tape? Might as well. We don't need to play a game. It's clear the duct tape was.
Why do you always side with Hajime? You have a crush?
You were with us when I peeled the duct tape off The blood on Nagito's face wasn't under the duct tape, remember?
The blood on his face came from his arm wounds. Which means the duct tape was on his face before his arms were even wounded.
And the duct tape had a lot of crinkles around his mouth. He must have been struggling to open his mouth under the duct tape.
Perhaps the duct tape was used so he wouldn't be able to scream. Then it's like I said at the beginning. The tape wasn't for torture. It was to keep his mouth shut.
However, if they wanted to seal his mouth, they did not need to hurt him with such ferocity.
They probably had a deep grudge against Nagito.
Then, are you saying the killer was trying to make him suffer? If so, it's freaking crazy. Did they go psycho or something?
No, they didn't just go crazy. Whoever did this must be one crafty bastard. If not, they wouldn't have taken the time to set fire to the crime scene and destroy all the evidence.
The warehouse fire was for destroying evidence?
Can't think of any other reason.
But who could have done that? When the fire occurred, everyone in this room was gathered in front of...
Yeah. And right after I opened the warehouse door...
Which means, it is plausible to think that nobody here set the fire.
The killer isn't one of us.
Even if it was only a coincidence. But
Based on the pattern up until now, we should suspect that some kind of setup was used.
Some kind of setup?
I do not know that.
That's our Miss Sonia. You have such an amazingly high... Alrighty then. Let's think about this based on what Miss Sonia thinks.
Damn right it is!
The reason for the fire, huh? Right, we need to clear that up first.
The direct cause of the fire was... the oil lighter found at the crime scene, right?
Obviously.
The killer used some kind of setup. He lit the curtain on fire with the lighter.
Some kind of setup?
did they use the oil as an improvised fuse?
They probably just threw the lighter.
Based on the shape of that oil lighter, it can stand upright while the flame is lit.
If they tipped over the lighter in some way, it could have ignited the curtain.
Some way?
Maybe they used invisible thread.
There should have been a way to tip it over with sound waves.
Or perhaps opening the door caused intense wind pressure to tip over the lighter. The direct cause of the oil lighter found at the crime scene, right?
The killer used some kind of setup. He lit the curtain on fire with the lighter.
Some kind of setup?
Did they use the oil as an improvised fuse?
They probably just threw the lighter.
Based on the shape of that oil lighter, it can stand upright while the flame is lit.
If they tipped over the lighter in some way, it could have ignited the curtain.
Some way?
Maybe they used invisible thread.
There should have been a way to tip it over with sound waves.
I mistimed it.
The direct cause of the fire was the oil lighter found at the crime scene, right?
The killer used some kind of setup. He lit the curtain on fire with the lighter.
Some kind of setup?
Did they use the oil as an improvised fuse?
They probably just threw the lighter.
Based on the shape of that oil lighter, it can stand upright while the flame is...
If they tipped over the lighter in some way, it could have ignited the curtain.
Some way?
Maybe they used invisible thread.
There should have been a way to tip it over with sound waves.
Or perhaps opening the door
I agree with that.
I also agree that opening the door...
Just as I thought! It was the wind pressure!
No.
A dust devil blown here from glorious Japan!
No.
No, not wind pressure. They probably used the Monokuma panels. A huge number of tipped-over Monokuma panels were found at the crime scene, right? It looked like they were scattered everywhere, but some were laying on top of each other in a single line. Just a single line leading from the warehouse door to the fire's origin.
Does that mean anything?
The killer probably arranged those Monokuma panels to create a domino effect.
A domino effect. You mean those tiles kids play with by lining them up and tipping them over?
In place of those tiles, the killer used the Monokuma panels. So when we opened the warehouse door, the first panel toppled into the second. And from there, they fell like dominoes until they reached the lighter at the end.
But wouldn't it be obvious that those big panels...
That's probably why they turned off the lights in the warehouse.
So the reason the warehouse was dark was to hide the domino effect.
And one more thing. There was something else the killer did to hide the domino...
Hello, person. What is up?
You're talking about the MP3 player, right?
Mm-hmm.
That hymn blaring throughout the warehouse masked the sound of the falling panels.
The inside of the warehouse felt even darker because our eyes. Yep. Burn, burn, burn to the ground.
That's it. So the strange sound was actually the sound of the panels falling.
Yeah.
But those sounds weren't the only strange thing, right? Looking back on it, it was also strange when we opened the...
Claire, Claire, Claire.
So the door was being blocked by a Monokuma panel.
Yep.
And when we opened the door, the domino effect started, and the falling panels eventually reached the lighter. Yeah, and that's how the warehouse caught on fire. At least, that's how it looks.
You don't look so sure.
At the time, Akane mentioned that she could barely open the door.
Because the panel was blocking it, right?
No.
But the blocked doorway, there wasn't enough space for a person to fit through, right?
Is that a problem?
It's a major problem. I mean, that door was the only...
That door was the only entrance.
I see!
If the panel was so close to the door that it could barely be opened, the killer inside the warehouse wouldn't be able to leave.
Now that you mention it.
Does that mean they were hiding inside?
No, we were all there.
Who? We were all outside the warehouse, you know.
Based on the patterns up until now, I believe some kind of setup was used. You don't have to think so hard. There's actually only one person who could have possibly done this.
You don't mean...
Hajime?
The person who set up the domino effect. There's only one person who could have done that. It was Yoko. No. It's Gundam. No. There we go. Agito.
This is my answer! What if it was Nagito?
Why'd you bring him up? He's the victim, you know.
Doesn't mean he couldn't have done it.
He wasn't just the victim. Maybe.
Huh?
Not just the victim? What does that mean?
He was the victim. And he was the perpetrator, too. Maybe.
Are you saying this was a suicide?
Oh,
Don't be
yes.
His body was covered in torture wounds. Or did you already forget? Are you saying those were all self-inflicted?
Yep.
But Nagito might do something like that.
That's not the issue. He was even for a creep like Nagito. It'd be impossible for him to tie up his own arms and legs.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. As long as you want...
It seems we need to discuss how Nagito was able to tie...
Need to discuss? That's not necessary at all. No matter how much you think about it, it's... To actually tie up your own arms and legs. That's obviously impossible!
Tying just the legs is one thing, but... tying both arms would be impossible.
You couldn't do much with the free arm.
It'd be impossible if you were by yourself.
How about if you use your teeth? Or if you use your front tail?
No.
Dirty joke! Is that a dirty joke?
Yep.
To actually tie up your own arms and legs. That's obviously impossible!
Tying just the leg.
Cool.
This is one thing, but tying both arms would be impossible.
You couldn't do much with the free arm.
It'd be impossible if you were by yourself.
How about if you use your teeth? Or if you use your front tail?
Dirty joke! Is that a dirty joke?
Yes, it is. It's a big joke.
To actually tie up your own arms and legs. That's obviously impossible!
Tying just the legs is one thing. Tying both arms would be...
You couldn't do much with the free arm.
It'd be impossible if you were by yourself.
How about if you use your
God
teeth?
damn it,
Or if you use your
fucking-
front tail?
Dirty joke! Is that a dirty joke?
To actually tie up your own arms and legs. That's obviously impossible!
Is it though?
Tying just the legs is one. Tying both arms would be impossible.
You couldn't do much with the free arm.
It'd be impossible if you were by yourself.
No, okay.
To actually tie up...
What am I missing?
your own arms and legs. That's obviously impossible!
Tying just the legs is one. Tying both arms would...
You couldn't do much with
It'd be impossible.
How about if you use your teeth? Or if you use your front...
Dirty joke! Is that a dirty joke?
Yes. Yes, it is. Seriously, is that best?
To actually tie up your own arms and legs.
Oh, come on.
That's obviously impossible!
Tying just the legs is one.
Fucking
Tying
made
both
white
arms would...
You
noise.
couldn't do much with...
It'd be impossible!
How about if you use your teeth? Or if you use your front tail?
Dirty joke! Is that a dirty joke?
To actually tie up your... No, that's wrong!
Hold on a second. Isn't that premise flawed?
What? I mean, it's no mistake that his arms and legs were...
No, it shouldn't have been both of his arms. The rope on his right arm was completely burnt up. Based on that, you can't say he was tied up.
That was just burned by the fire. He should have been tied up before it...
It burned because of the fire, like you said. But that was part of the trap. There's concrete evidence that proves it.
I see!
Take a close look at it. Even though the rope was burnt up, the sleeve wasn't burned at all. A burn like this, no matter how you think about it, is unnatural. That rope was burned in advance so it would look like it was burned.
Then Nagito's right arm wasn't tied up, right? He was able...
Yeah, that should be the case.
Hajime, that's awesome! I'll let you cop a feel if you want.
Okay.
Akane, you should not give it away for free. Make sure they pay you first.
What? How's that the problem?
That's definitely wrong.
Fine. I just gotta get a Benjamin from him before I let him touch me, right?
Where am I gonna get $100?
That's not what I meant. I'm talking about Nagito. I mean, even if his right hand wasn't tied up, the knife was still stabbed into it, you know?
It's impossible to stab a knife into your right hand with your right hand.
Hajime, you tricked me! Give me back that Benjamin!
I'm sorry. She says, fine, just gotta get a Benjamin from him. And then she's like, give me back that Benjamin. You were the one who's supposed to give me a... Hey, Naruto, Uzumaki, and Infinite, Goku, and King Chris. Also, gave you back the Benjamin. One, I was supposed to give you the $100. Two, I didn't give you $100, and neither did you give me $100. Get a life. Oh, did she charge me? So now she wants the money back. What the heck? Hello, Sonic the Hedgehog.
Hold on. There should be a way.
Then hurry up and spill it.
If it's something lame, I'll make you give back to Benjamin with 10,000% interest.
10,000? That's like $1 million. That is $1 million. Where to set yourself in your right hand? Using your right hand. It's okay, there's definitely an answer to this. Where would I even get $1 million?
Even if Nagito's right hand was free, how could he stab his right hand with his right hand?
Magic.
If he threw the knife into the air and let the knife fall, could he stab his hand that way?
No.
Is he a throwing knife expert?
No, he's a
Maybe he propped the knife somehow?
Yep.
I agree with that.
And everyone's gone. Oh well.
The life-size Monokuma plushie. He must have used that to prop the knife.
Makes sense. That's why there was a big hole in the plushie's stomach. He inserted the knife handle into that hole to prop it up. Then he slammed his hand onto it. If that's it, he had to place the plushie near him. And it also explains the mysterious blood on the plushie.
So the blood on the plushie came from Nagito after he stabbed the knife into his own right hand.
I see. So that's the trick.
But for a moment, I seriously thought Monokuma died or something.
A bleeding plushie is super scary.
Okay.
It's got the same fear factor as a doll whose hair grows too long.
After stabbing his hand, he no longer needed the plushie, so he cast it off toward the fire's origin point.
He probably thought the fire would incinerate it and destroy the evidence.
So what do you think now, Fuyuhiko?
I get what you're saying about the wound on his right hand, but there's still one huge problem.
And that would be...
The spear. Basically, you're saying Nagito committed suicide by impaling himself with a spear, right?
Danganronpa, boom.
If you think about the order, getting killed by the spear should have been the last thing to happen to Nagito.
True.
If that's true, how is that possible? He can't grab a spear with his right hand if a knife is stabbed into it and his left hand was all tied up.
Then he probably took the spear first, and as he endured the pain, he stabbed the knife into his right hand.
Stupid.
There is a limit to his constitution. If you got penetrated by something so big and thick, you would die instantly.
I'm not even going to say something about this. He's just like...
I'm sorry, I didn't catch all that.
Pervert.
Like I said, if you got penetrated by something so big and thick, you would die instantly.
Giggity.
Say it one more time. I need to record it. For a reason.
Hey, bastard, you better cut it out.
Like she said, in that condition, it's very difficult to stab yourself with a spear.
True.
It'd be hard to use a spear with a knife stab into your right hand.
So you're saying it's impossible?
But no matter what I think, I can't believe to think that one of us could kill someone with such cruelty.
You say you can't believe it? But that's why you keep getting betrayed over and over again.
You just shut your mouth. It's against the rules to interfere if you even think about doing anything.
Monami sassing me.
Monami.
But it's just as Monokuma said. This might also be the same.
Then are you saying there is a killer?
Of course that doesn't include Miss Sonia.
As Kazuichi said. But even if I'm betrayed again, I still want to... No matter how many times I may be betrayed, I still want to believe in everyone.
I also want to believe that there's no killer, but suicide is unimaginable.
Do you really think so?
But you said it too. It'd be impossible for him to stab himself with a spear in his condition.
Normally, yes.
I did say difficult, but I never said impossible. I feel that there's some way he could have
What kind of way?
I don't know.
You don't?
It's impossible to figure out by myself. That's how we made it this everyone working together.
She's right. We made it through several ordeals. Only 4. That's not several.
All right, let's...
How did Nagito stab himself with a spear? Let's work together and think this through.
When the spear stabbed Nagito, his right hand was covered by the knife, right?
He was only able to move his left hand.
But his left hand was also tied up.
Then that rules out his left hand.
Come
If that's
on.
the case, the only other way is...
He used his teeth? Or
No.
maybe he used his front tail.
Would you stop with that joke?
I know guys have tails that get hard when they're grabbed.
Wow.
What do you see?
Blushing Miss
Dick.
Sonia is freaking awesome!
Fuck off.
How did
Thank you.
Nagito stab himself with a spear? Let's work together and think this through.
When the spear stabbed Nagito, his right hand was covered by the knife, right?
He was only able to move his left hand.
But his left hand was also tied up.
Then that rules out his left hand.
I'm so freaking tired of
If
it.
that's the case, the only other...
He used his teeth, or maybe he used his
hate
front
white
tail.
noise.
I know guys have tails that get hard when they're grabbed. What do you see?
Grabbed.
A blushing Miss Sonia is freaking awesome!
How did Nagito... Let's work together and think this through.
When the spear stabbed Nagito, his right hand was covered by the knife, right?
He was only able to move...
But his left hand was also tied up.
Then that rules out his left hand.
No, that's wrong.
Okay.
Hold on. It's still too early to dismiss the possibility that he used his...
Why? I mean,
But there was something off about his left hand.
The blood.
The bloodstain on the palm of his hand. Don't you think it looks somewhat strange?
Yep.
He only had blood on the lower area of his palm. Beyond...
When the blood splattered, that's as far...
That settles the description of that blood stain. But it's not the... Look, there's blood on the back of his hand. Around the middle joints of his fingers.
Yeah.
Like you said, it looks like an unnatural blood stain, but what's wrong with that?
When the rest of it is covered.
We might need to think and use our imaginations for a bit. If there's blood on his palm and the back of his hand, what was his left hand doing as the blood splattered?
Wait.
I see.
Firmly grasp it.
When the blood splattered, he was probably gripping with his left hand. That's why there's such a strange-looking bloodstain on his palm and the back of his hand.
Was he grabbing his front tail?
Would you shut up?
Here's the thought! He was obviously grabbing the spear!
What's the difference? Giggity.
Now that you mention it, compared to the rest of his body, the wounds on his left arm are pretty mild. He probably made his wounds mild on purpose, so he could keep his strength while he gripped the spear.
But even if he held the spear with his tied-up left hand, it'd be impossible for him to stab himself.
That's right, that's the problem.
Hey, Chiaki, what do you think? Hey, don't tell me you're getting sleepy.
At times like this, you should always strike from a good angle. Just like fixing an old TV.
It doesn't go at an angle.
Oh, I got it. Maybe.
really?
Yeah, like I thought. It's no mistake that Nagito was gripping the spear, I think. However, what's important is what section of the spear he was gripping.
I see.
That's it. Instead of the handle, Nagito must have been... There was a metal weight at the tip of the cord, but there were bloodstains on that part too. Plus, the joint between the weight and the cord had a bloodstain shaped like it was cut off by something.
Isn't the size of that cut-off section about the same size as a human fist?
Ah, you're right. So this is the part Nagito was gripping, huh?
Such riveting commentary.
And then the blood that was supposed to end up here
Wow.
ended up getting on Nagito's left hand.
But why is it so important to know which part of the spear he was gripping?
You're not gonna say he gripped the tip of the cord, swung the spear around, and stabbed himself, right?
No.
That is where the clue to solve this mystery resides. I am sorry. Of course this... It seems we are stuck. Shall we have tea time?
At a time like... How about we stick to... the plan to think one step at a time instead of expecting the answers all at once.
That's a long plan.
One step at a time.
Let's focus on the spear first. Namely, where it was, and how it was positioned just before it impaled Nagito.
How it was positioned.
Logic dive. 2, 1, go. Come on. Ugh. Obviously that one's in the spear sport, of course. I don't know why I did that one.
It's all coming together! The spear impaled Nagito as he was laying face up. It must have been perpendicular to him just before that.
Perpendicular. In the middle.
If Nagito did that all by himself, did he have some sort of ESP?
No.
That'd be awesome, but he probably used the ceiling girder directly above him.
Nagito probably slung the cord over the ceiling girder, and using that as a he hoisted the spear directly above him. And if Nagito let go of the cord, the spear would have fallen and impaled him while he was laying face up.
I noticed a slight red streak on the ceiling girder. It probably got smeared there during the setup.
The blood on the cord probably rubbed off on the ceiling girder. So, how about it? Using this method.
Are you serious?
He probably chose that spear so he could commit suicide like that. If someone else did this, there's no reason they'd go to all this trouble just to kill someone with a spear.
I agree. When I was investigating this case, I kept thinking over and over, why did the killer use the knife and the spear so differently?
So you're saying he needed to use that spear to pull off his trick?
Then
This is for real? He really committed suicide?
No. I mean, yes, but no.
Every single wound on his body. That was all him?
Yep.
Not just that, he did all that while he was gripping the spear? That spear should not have stabbed Nagito until the very end. Which means Nagito wounded himself while he was gripping that spear, right?
Did he put the duct tape on his mouth, too?
He probably covered his own mouth so we wouldn't hear him screaming in pain.
Did he need to go that far? That's beyond crazy! Why would he do that to himself?
He was probably trying to get us to make a mistake. By committing a suicide that looked like a murder, he was trying to steer us toward the wrong answer. His goal was to get us all executed.
And that's why...
Did he want us to die that bad?
That's messed up. That's seriously so messed up.
Yeah, that's our...
Hello, person. So I was starting to feel a little sympathetic for him. Completely underestimated his capacities for mad malice. Mind-boggling malice that burns us even after he died. That's the form his malice took.
However, there is one thing I still do not understand. Whatever became of that?
He was probably planning to kill the traitor along with the rest of us.
So why did he not just do that in the first place? If he had no qualms with killing everyone, he did not have to cause a bomb scare to reveal the traitor.
I bet the bomb scare was part of the strategy behind this trick. He made us split up and search for a bomb so none of us would have an alibi. He created a scenario where any of us could have killed him.
He tried to make us doubt each other. And tried to hide the truth behind...
Did he cause a bomb scare for that reason alone?
He's a fucking bastard who killed himself for his delusions of...
You are right.
Yeah. It appears bastard Nagito committed...
That should be okay, right? Right?
What? You're...
No, I agree that Nagito killed himself, but I feel like there's something. It's probably just my imagination.
So what are you gonna do?
What do you think, Akane?
Well, there's no doubt Nagito's death was a suicide.
You are right. It is not as though we...
Then... that means we're done with this last class trial. It's okay to reach such a happy ending, right?
No.
Then it's okay? It's okay to say, you've decided on the killer? Understood. Then voting time.
No, hold on a sec.
Hold on. Why?
Sorry, just a little more. I want you guys to wait just a little more. I can't help but feel like there's still something we overlooked.
The fact that the Monkey failed doesn't state the cause of death.
Like who the traitor...
But the issue here is who killed Nagito, right?
That's true, but...
The mystery isn't just about who the traitor is. No matter how you look at it, I'm a little worried, you know? I'm worried
Hey, what do you mean it's not?
There's just one thing that doesn't make... Plus, it's something even Nagito couldn't...
You're gonna keep going? Here...
I see!
Is it about the
Yeah, that's it.
Huh? There was something suspicious...
There's no cause of death. The victim is Nagito Kaneda. Hangman's Gambit.
In this particular case's Monokuma file, there's no specific cause of death.
Isn't that weird? Until now.
But the cause of death is obvious, is it not? The spear in Nagito's stomach. It is obvious just by looking at it that it was a...
Maybe it's not included if it's not important enough to write about.
Well, I plead the fifth!
There he goes again! I'm so appalled that But even during Gundam's case, and before during Nikon, the thing he purposely omitted from the Monokuma file was always the most important mystery in the case.
Are you saying that applies this time too?
Hold on a sec. Then, are you saying there's more to... Are you suggesting, again, that his death wasn't a suicide?
You guys were the ones who said it was a suicide in the first place!
No, I don't think it's a mistake to call Nagito's death a suicide, but it's not just a suicide. Come to think of it, did Nagito really commit suicide just to get us all killed?
Are you sticking up for him?
That's not what I meant. I mean it in a bad sense.
Bad sense?
I just remembered that his malice always defied our expectations, and that concerns me. For example, would that malice just end here?
Huh?
Did Nagito's malice drive him to risk his life for a truth we'd reach this easily? I mean, this is Nagito we're talking about, you know?
How interesting! You sure do believe in Nagito, huh? Because you believe in his malice, you continue to suspect, I see! I guess that's what passes for...
What friendship?
What should we do, you guys? I think we should keep going until everyone is satisfied.
You're right. We only get one chance.
Just to be safe, huh? Guess I have no choice.
This is friggin' annoying. But if you guys say you're doing it, there's no way...
Hey, Monokuma! You heard us. The voting's gonna have to wait!
We've come this far. Let's work hard till the very end. If we work together, everything that's what I...
Oh, splendid! You guys are so split. That's right! If all your hopes are united...
If all our hopes are united, huh? This is not exactly what...
No!
Man, my heart is racing like crazy when I thought voting was attempted. Well, if you think about it rationally, there's no way it was gonna happen. We haven't done this yet. So the players probably figured that out too, but you're the only one who didn't know.
By now, anyway, everyone is united. That's why I will fight the only way I can. That's basically it.
So if we're working together, where do we start?
Why don't we try removing all our preconceived notions? In the beginning, our discussion it's better to confirm if there are any other possibilities.
If something other than the spear killed Nagito...
That was definitely a gruesome wound, but...
If you think the cuts on his legs...
Are we finished already?
I feel like...
Then let's bring up whatever we can think of, one after the other. That might clear some things up.
Exactly! We should cooperate at a time like this.
A special poison.
Let us consider a different fatal wound.
It's not the knife in his right hand, right? It's not the other wounds, right?
With all those wounds, maybe he simply bled to death.
No.
There's no way he burned to death. Was the cause of death something that cannot be seen?
I agree with that.
Yep.
That's it. I totally forgot about that possibility. If the cause of death was something we can't see, then we have to consider poison as a possible method.
Poison? It is true that poison is not something we can see, but why did you bring that up all of a sudden?
I remember, when I went to investigate Nagito's cottage, I discovered something really strange. Inside the refrigerator, I found a bottle of Monokuma's special poison.
Yep.
Poison?
Well, except for what's happening, obviously.
Additionally, that's a poison made specifically for killing.
Are most poisons made for killing? Like, it's poison. It's kind of made to kill.
I see. Now that you mention it, there's no way a toxin like that doesn't relate to the case at all. If poison was the cause of death, it would not leave an obvious wound on Nagito's body.
However, it's common for blood blotches to appear on a body that's been poisoned.
I see. You sure seem to know a lot about medicine.
What does that mean?
Poison.
But even if blood blotches appear, if the body was already covered in blood, there's no way we'd notice them easily, right?
Yeah.
Did he wound his body just to camouflage them?
Makes sense.
That's also a possibility.
But still, both of Nagito's hands were full. So how would he drink poison?
His left hand was tied up and gripping the scoop. If it was a slow-acting poison, it is possible he consumed it in...
No, the warning label on the bottle explicitly states the effect is instant.
Then it's impossible. Both his hands were full just before he died.
And this is when the hardtail appears.
Would you shut up about his dick?
You're totally overvaluing that tail.
His mouth was covered with duct tape now. If he wanted to drink poison, how'd he get it past his lips?
Inhale.
If there's no way he could have drank the poison, it might just hit him. It's not like...
Are there
Hell no! No matter how you...
Since we've already ruled out so many possibilities. Operation Elimination Method.
Inhale, my done and regular child. My god, look at that shit. Oh my god, look at this hip. He obviously breathed it in, people. Who is all three? Oops. Come on. You know what? Screw it. Huh. Come on.
all coming together. What if instead of drinking the poison, we assume he inhaled?
Inhaled?
It's written on the poison's warning label.
This enchanted liquid is highly potent and takes effect immediately. Though its volatility is low, the liquid is very dangerous when vaporized.
Dangerous when vaporized. And of
Poison gas! Then all he had to do was breathe it in?
Breathe that poisonous gas inside the... But if poisonous gas had spread throughout the warehouse...
I see! The sprinklers in the warehouse. Thanks to those, we didn't inhale that poison gas.
The poison gas disappeared because of the sprinklers? It wasn't the fire?
Well, this was also...
The gaseous state is heavier than air, it breaks down in minutes, and it is susceptible to hydrolysis. So it's possible for you to poison someone to death without any complications.
Of course! Hydrolysis!
Hydrolysis,
The
sorry.
chemical bonds that formed the poison were broken down by the water from the sprinklers!
Yep.
Also, the poison is apparently denser than air, so it probably...
But Nagito was laying down, so he must have breathed in a whole bunch of it.
If it meets the requirements that well, maybe it's not just a possibility.
Yeah, the true cause of Nagito's death was poisoning. The wounds on his body, the spear in his stomach.
So what?
Huh?
We figured out that Nagito died from poison, but... So what?
What
In
caused
the
it?
end, it doesn't change the fact that he committed suicide, right?
Nagito inhaled the poison he prepared and died.
Well, with this, we have a clearer picture. All right. All the mysteries should be solved now. We should get
No.
on with the voting time.
Well,
What? There's still more?
All the mysteries have been solved yet. In the end, Nagito's motive is still unclear. Did he commit suicide just so he could kill last one of us? Was that really his motive? Is that really okay?
Hey, what happened?
Nagito's motive, his malice, is it really okay? Can we finish this?
There might have been an accomplice.
Chiaki, what did you just say?
If Nagito committed suicide by inhaling poison that he brought, then why wasn't there anything that looked like poison at the crime scene?
Anything that looked like poison?
If Nagito brought poison to the warehouse, it's strange that we couldn't find it there.
That's true. The meat on the bone.
I see! Are you talking about the container the poison was kept in?
Yeah. If Nagito brought it, it's strange we couldn't find that container anywhere, right?
He can't carry around poison without putting it in a container?
Yeah, it was written on the warning label.
The container probably melted in the fire.
It's probably plastic or glass, right? There's no way it'd completely incinerate. Even the plastic fragments of the fire grenades we used to put out the fire didn't completely burn up, you know?
Then, does that mean someone got rid of the container?
So that's why you mentioned an accomplice.
That is impossible! I mean, an accomplice? It is just two!
Like, does that really matter all that much? I mean, even if he had an accomplice, it doesn't change the fact that Nagito's still...
You're right.
Ah, you're
Right?
That's no good.
Huh?
I feel like Nagito is seeing through us. By calling this Nagito suicide, we're trying to take the easy way out so we don't hurt anyone else. But if Nagito was here right now, he'd probably be sneering at us. He'd probably say something like, "So that's the extent of your hopes."
So Nagito's ghost is whispering to you, huh? The power of friendship bursts beyond death, huh? A fiery outcome like this is right out of a teen manga! Still, that's pretty messed up.
Shut up! You just be quiet.
I get what you're saying, but in the end, the reason he died is still the same as before, right? Even if we solve this mystery, the conclusion won't change at all.
I mean, it'd be a suicide regardless, right?
Even if there really was an accomplice, is there any reason we should take the time to figure out who it is? Like Fuyuhiko said earlier, it is possible that somebody accidentally removed the poison from the crime scene.
But I just can't imagine ending this by turning our backs on the truth.
It's fine, okay? There are some things we're better off not knowing. And we probably just didn't notice it. Like maybe the container was hiding with the fire grenade fragments.
Even though it's brief, it's still like a strong flash of light running through the back of my head. And then he'd be hidden within them. As the what's in them. Oops. Hello. Oh, duh. Ain't it? There we go.
I got it! I see! I got it!
Huh?
The fire grenades! Nagito put the poison inside one of the fire grenade canisters
Or all
and
of
transported it to the warehouse.
He used one of the fire grenade canisters?
Yeah, the container with the poison in it wasn't secretly taken away by someone. Instead, it was in a container that didn't need to be taken away in the first place. As long as he put the poison in the same container he brought to the warehouse, It can be hidden with the other fire grenades we used, so there's no need to dispose of the container later.
Bastard. He totally knew we were gonna throw those fire grenades.
Which means, did Nagito exchange the contents of a fire grenade?
Yeah, that has to be it.
When I first discovered those fire grenades, I tried to study them a little bit. The canister was completely sealed shut by a layer of aluminum underneath the lid.
You just have to peel off that seal and swap the insides, right?
That is true, but there was no sign.
Hold on. Did you say aluminum?
Hajime. Could it be?
If so, then there's no mistake. Nagito definitely swapped the contents of one of the fire grenades.
Seriously? That's a...
Sonia's words are proof that the poison was... Huh?
I can prove it with this. Take a
So
look.
easy.
We found this under Nagito's bed when we were investigating.
Huh? That's just a piece of trash.
No. The seal I saw on that fire grenade matched this.
You found the aluminum seal and...
There's more. That's not the only thing. He also found a gas mask and gloves under his bed, too.
Did he use those when he put the poison inside the fire grenade?
It's a dangerous poison after all. He took extreme caution when swapping them.
So what's the issue? Nagito put the poison in the grenade canister, brought it with him, breathed it in and died, right?
No.
So in the end, he still fucking committed suicide! Enough already!
No.
You're right. If the canister wasn't thrown away, then it just means that there wasn't an accomplice after all.
See, I told you. The conclusion is still the same. Nagito committed suicide. End of story.
You idiots. He made us throw it.
I admit that there wasn't an accomplice. That was just my misunderstanding. In actuality, the truth is even more horrifying.
What did you say?
Hey, what are you planning to say now?
Force someone to kill.
What the hell? Do you still want to keep going?
Is this not settled? There is no denying that Nagito's death was a suicide. No, it's not.
Chiaki?
I'm sorry,
Hello,
but
person.
I just realized it.
What's up?
Realized what?
We know Nagito used the grenade canister to store the poison. So when was it deployed in the warehouse? When did Nagito breathe in the poison?
When we threw them.
When I thought along those lines, that's when I realized it.
The horrifying truth?
It probably happened at the same time.
I see! Are you saying it was when we all threw the fire grenades?
Yep.
Yeah, I think so. When we all threw the grenades to put out the fire in the warehouse, the poison was deployed, and it converted to poison gas and killed Nagito. If that is true, then the person who brought the poison and spread it was...
One of us.
What the heck?
One of us threw the poisoned grenade that killed Nagito?
Hold on a sec. Then it would mean he didn't kill himself.
You said so yourself! You said Nagito committed
Then who killed...
You mean, who's the actual killer, right?
Do you know?
Who prepared the poison fire grenade that killed Nagito?
Huh?
I see! It was Nagito, obviously.
Then who set the warehouse fire that caused one of us to throw...
Nagito.
I see! That was...
Hey, how many times are you...
The next question will be my last. Why did Nagito set the warehouse on fire?
I see! Don't tell me. He set the warehouse on fire just so we'd have to throw the fire grenades?
He set the fire just so we'd put it out? Why'd he do that?
To make a murder happen.
It was a trap.
A trap?
A trap! It's a trap!
Preparing the poison. Creating a reason for us to throw the poison. It was all a setup by Nagito. It was all a trap to make one of us throw the poison grenade.
Seriously, I'm asking you who threw it.
I don't know. The person who threw it probably didn't know either.
Huh? Could it be... Was that Nagito's trap?
This wasn't an intentional murder. This was a murder that Nagito forced someone to do. And for that reason, he put the fire grenade that he filled with poison with the other grenades. Setting up a murder nobody can solve. That was Nagito's true goal.
What? What the hell?
Nagito did not commit murder. Instead, he manipulated someone else into killing him? To do that, he set a trap to force someone to kill him. The poison grenade and the fire were traps. That's why the curtain was the fire's origin point. All the fire grenades we threw at the curtain shattered once they fell to the floor. Because of that, Nagito, who was laying face up on the floor, was able to breathe in the dense poison, and then...
Hold on! If that's true, you can't say the poison was the cause of death. It might be the poison's fault he let go of the spear, but the actual cause of death could be either one.
Even so, the poison is what caused him to let go.
That's right! Nagito's killer is the one...
Are you fucking serious?
That was his trap all along. Even the wounds all over his body. It was all to mess with the evidence for what actually happened. His true goal was creating a murder that nobody can solve. He wanted to prove to us that there are mysteries that just can't be solved with educated guesses.
He probably expected that his fake suicide would be found out. After all, a mystery that can be solved is destined to be solved. However, he also prepared a mystery that, as you solve mysteries and bolster your hope. For those of you who believe there are no unsolved, meaning he used all of the prior not all mysteries can be solved.
That's totally messed up. That's so fucked up.
Yep.
It is my
he's quite
fault,
the mastermind.
because I told you all about the fire grenades. I am so sorry.
That's not the fucking issue here.
It's not Miss Sonia's fault. This is all Nagito's doing.
But what should we do?
It's impossible.
Impossible?
Nagito wanted to create a scenario where we could make a
However, Monokuma also does not know...
That's right. There's no way he'd be able to figure that out with just his surveillance cameras. If Monokuma doesn't know, this trial doesn't count. Isn't that right?
I don't actually need stuff like cheap. I know perfectly well what's happening on this. I know you used the bathroom 3 times yesterday, Sonia. And one of those visits seemed to take a while.
Oh my god, she was on her period. That was right!
Please stop! I will never become queen!
Oh my god.
How can you? I'm so chill. I mean, how can you have such an awful power?
So, of course this trial still counts. Do your...
Yes, he says. How the hell are we supposed to do that?
Is giving up all we can do? No, it's too early to give up.
Is there any way to figure out who the killer is?
Even though it's just a hunch, it's possible possible that it's probably... There's one way. Really? Hey, is it alright if we look at Nagito's crime one more time from the beginning? I want to make sure my hunch is hunching.
Go ahead.
I got it. Let's...
Ori had the closing argument.
Everything that happened in this case. The person who actually arranged this incident was... He kept a specific item inside his cottage that he needed for his plan. Monokuma's special poison, which he brought with him from the Octagon. Using the gloves and gas mask that he got from the military base. Nagito swapped the contents of a fire grenade he took from the plushie factory break room with that poison. When he did that, a specific item was left as evidence, the blue aluminum seal on the grenade. With that, Nagito finished making the poisoned fire grenade, took it with him to the factory, and put it back with the rest of the grenades in the break room.
This is so,
The next morning, Nagito appeared before us and declared that he hid a bomb somewhere. While we were looking for the bomb, that's when Nagito headed over to the goods warehouse. In order to set up a fire, Nagito arranged the Monokuma panels in a line going from the door to the curtain and placed an oil lighter in front of it. From there, Nagito set his insane plan in motion. First, he hung the spear that he took from Nezumi. Then he tied his arms and legs at the back of the warehouse with rope. However, he burnt off the rope on his right arm beforehand. In doing so, he made sure that only his right hand was free, while his remaining arm and legs were tied up. As he gripped the tip of the rope hanging over the ceiling girder with his left hand, he lay down face up, just beneath the dangling spear. But this was just the beginning of Nagito's plan. And then, he did so. First, he covered his mouth with duct tape, and after making sure he was unable to scream,
cut himself up.
He stabbed himself with the knife multiple times in his left arm and in both of his thighs. Finally, he propped the knife on the plushie and slammed his right hand onto the blade. He didn't just want us to think he was tied up. He also wanted us to think he'd been tortured. Through all this, Nagito never let go of the spear. His plan still wasn't over. In fact, it was just about to begin. Meanwhile, we finally arrived at the plushie factory and found, after seeing his message, we instantly made our way to the warehouse. But that was part of Nagito's plan. We opened the door to the warehouse, which inadvertently started the Monokuma panel domino effect. Panels fell one after another until they reached the lighter. Shocked by the sudden fire, we rushed to the factory's break room to obtain some fire-extinguishing grenades. We then aimed for the fire's origin point, which was the curtain, and unloaded the entire... It never occurred to us that one of those grenades was the poison grenade that Nagito had prepared. The poison sank to the floor, instantly vaporizing due to the intense heat. The poison gas quickly drifted to the curtain at the back of the warehouse, where also, Monokuma's poison has a unique quality in which it becomes heavier than air when vaporized. That poison gas completely surrounded the area where Nagito lay face up on the floor. There, Nagito inhaled the poison, and if it didn't instantly kill him, he certainly lost consciousness. Which caused him to let go of the rope in his left hand, and the falling spear...
He did.
This is all the information related. His true intention was to set one of us up as the killer. At this time, we still don't know who the killer is, because the killer wasn't aware they killed someone. Try as we might, we cannot reach that truth. In conclusion, the fact that we can't determine the killer's identity
Makes us all the killer.
This should be the truth.
How about it, Chiaki? Chiaki?
Just as I thought. It's impossible, isn't it? You say we...
What Hajime said is probably true. Did Nagito really not care who the killer was?
Oh, he did.
He said this to us earlier.
It's going to be fine. I'm pretty sure everything will be worked out in the end. After all, there's no way hope can lose. Absolute hope that can break through any despair can never lose in a place like this. And not only that, I believe in you all. I believe the time we spent together.
That feeling of belief is at the heart of his... He believed we'd notice the fire grenades. And he believed we'd fall into his trap. By believing in us, Nagito was able to...
What do you mean, believe?
And what's wrong with that?
There's one more thing, remember? Something that Nagito I want you to try to remember.
Hope. His talent.
I see!
Nagito believed in his talent as the ultimate lucky student.
After all the time we spent together, I believe in you guys. More than anything, I believe in my ultimate luck. So it's definitely going to be alright.
Guess the last thing he could believe in was his own talent.
It's not so strange, really. Most of us here have been relying on the same thing.
But, in his case, it was pretty remarkable, wasn't it? It almost seemed like he had blind faith.
You're right. The same thing happened when he cleared the...
It's life-threatening and all. It's just a simple escape game that ended up in with Russian roulette.
But his luck doesn't have anything to do with it.
I just thought it was strange. He factored in his belief in us. But for some reason, he didn't factor in his own luck. No, there's no way. I mean, this is Nagito we're talking about. You know, he wasn't just after anybody. He probably had a target. A target? The target's true identity. That's why he relied on being... As long as he had his luck, you mean...
He risked?
He probably risked his...
Who is it?
Traitor.
I see! That's it. The traitor.
Then he relied on his luck to weed out the traitor?
Nagito didn't know who the traitor was until the very end.
Then what he said is...
Was a lie.
So he was just bluffing.
No shit.
That's probably true. By that point, his plan should have already been in motion.
But if he just wanted to out the traitor, he didn't have to go this far and make that person the killer. Damn it! We're all in a huge bind because of that!
It means he wants us to beat the traitor.
No.
By finding out who the traitor is, our hopes will... That's something he'd say.
Mon ami, it looks like you've...
And that concludes my arc. Nagito's plan was to make the traitor kill him. What are you gonna do? Are you gonna...
The only thing we can do is...
If we don't, then we'd just be relying...
But even if we... I mean, if...
You are absolutely right. If, by chance, the traitor revealed themselves during that bomb scare, would it have stopped Nagito from
No.
acting so reckless?
Huh?
But they couldn't help it. Even if they wanted to reveal themselves, they couldn't do it because they weren't created to do that.
Chiaki?
Oh.
What's wrong, Chiaki? Get a hold of yourself!
That's why I want you guys to guess.
You want us to guess?
Yeah, I want you to guess.
What? What does that mean?
Who do you think it is, Hajime? Who do you think the Future Foundation sent it?
Why?
A traitor who's not allowed to think that they're different from everyone else.
Why?
A traitor who can only interact with everyone as a traitor.
Why?
Because that's the nature of their existence.
Seriously, why?
Who do you think? Hajime, please.
It's Chiaki. It has to be Chiaki.
It's... you?
That's so depressing.
Chiaki, you were the traitor?
Please! Hold on!
Hello, person.
Aw, you totally guessed right. Just as expected. Yep, you're correct. I'm the traitor.
Sort of.
The agent sent by the Future Foundation to hide among you all is me.
Damn it. Why? This nonsense is... Why? Why does this make sense?
Hey, Chiaki. Are you being serious right now?
Chiaki is the traitor? That is a lie, right?
I'm sorry. It's the truth.
Hey, what are you saying sorry for?
What does this mean? You... Up until now... You've been tricking us?
What? We were not tricked! After all, we have been working together all this time. We have been Chiaki. Being a traitor, that is obviously a lie!
No, it's the truth.
Please, wait! The Future Foundation isn't what you think it is!
Shut the fuck up! We're talking to Chiaki!
No, I have nothing more to say.
Why?
Because we already know the killer's true identity. So the only thing left to do is vote.
Hold on! We're not satisfied yet!
If you say you are the traitor, please provide an explanation. We cannot vote until we are satisfied. That is what you said earlier, Chiaki.
Hey, if you're really the traitor, why'd you wait till now to reveal yourself?
She couldn't do anything else.
It's weird, isn't it? Waiting until right now to out yourself.
It's definitely strange, right? Or rather, why was I able to do that?
Guess we
Maybe...
found out.
I wanted to protect everyone, no matter the cost.
Huh?
Hey, Hajime. Can you do me a small favor?
Favor? Me?
I want you to prove to them that I'm the traitor.
What? What are you saying? Why do I have to do that?
I want to explain everything to you guys, but... as I expected, that's rather difficult.
Makes sense.
That's why... the only thing I can do is plead with you. I want you to do it.
Whether I can prove it or not, that's not the problem. Don't you understand? You may as well be asking me to kill you. There's no way I can do that.
I'm very sorry, but this is the only...
Looks like we gotta do what we can.
Yeah.
It's not like I believe she's the traitor. There's just no way we can ignore this without confirming it.
If she was just disguised or something, this would have been a heck of a lot easier for us to understand, but...
She's not disguised at all! Because Chiaki isn't the traitor.
Monami?
Too bad. I'm not part of the same group as that girl. I don't know anything about that girl at all.
Oh, you fool.
Hey, are you trying to cover for her like that?
No. Why would she do that?
I've always been alone. I have no friends. Anywhere.
Come on, me.
That's why I have no relation to Chiaki whatsoever.
Hajime, you're going to listen to my
Damn it.
Chiaki isn't my friend. I hate Chiaki so much.
I mean, Chiaki's relationship. Proving it here, is that the only way? It's pretty obvious.
Hajime, you stupid face! Let's all get along. stupid face! I won't let you! First Nokin and next! I'll lower your grades! Disappear! Hajime, you stupid face! Let's all get along! Chucky and I aren't best friends!
This is the end!
Someone has to be able to write it.
When we investigated Nagito's cottage, I discovered a notebook with the new Sami logo on it. That's your notebook, right? The one Nagito stole from you.
I don't know. I don't know.
Don't tell me. Is that where the traitor's true identity is written?
Not exactly.
That's right! Since I knew something like this would happen,
So sudden?
Give me that notebook!
Day one, da-da-da-da.
Is the traitor's identity written in here?
Nagito was probably looking for that too, so that might be why he stole the notebook. But you wouldn't know who the traitor is just by reading this notebook. Of course, Nagito would, however. It's different for me.
you know?
It took me this long, but I finally understand.
No, the truth is, I might have already known the moment I found this notebook. It's just, I wanted to turn my eyes from the truth it contained. But now I clearly know. I can't help but know.
First of all, this isn't Monami's diary. Apparently she can't write.
Then the one who wrote this is...
Someone connected to Monami. Meaning, it's not a mistake to think that the traitor wrote it.
If so, is this like a report that the traitor was sending to Monami?
Not exactly.
Is it evidence that they were observing our actions and reporting to Monami?
But how would you know who the traitor is from that?
Because there's an entry written in here that only me and one other person would know.
The topic we discussed in number 3. Final dead room.
In the notebook, there was a specific entry.
What's up, people? Day 16. We've been in the funhouse for 3 days. Everyone's hungry and on edge. Hajime tried to go into the final dead room today. He said probably panicking because no one believes him.
There it is. It's true. I tried to go inside the final dead room, but the only one who knew that
It's Chiaki.
That's right. The only person who knew that is Chiaki. That's why Chiaki is the only person who could have possibly written about this.
There must be some mistake. I mean, if Chiaki is the traitor, what was all that time we spent with her? Was that all a lie too?
Miss Sonia.
Chiaki is... She is being controlled by Monokuma. That is why we should help her.
That's not it.
I'm not satisfied either. I mean, if you were the traitor, there's no way you'd do something so stupid when we found the bomb.
Is it really? It's really stupid to be fighting over something like this. So with an annoyed expression on her face, Chiaki walked over to the bombs without saying a word. Took her handbook out of her pocket. And without hesitating, swiped the card reader. Looks like it was wrong.
Now that you mention it, Chiaki immediately went to the card reader with her handbook.
She tested it out right away after being told it would only react to the traitor's handbook.
That doesn't make any sense. A traitor would be more cautious than that.
Chiaki probably knew the bomb was a fake. That's why she also knew Nagito's trap was a bluff.
She knew? That is a mistake! That must be a mistake! Why are you saying such things? Do you really want Chiaki to be the traitor?
Of course not!
I will not believe it! I refuse to believe Chiaki is a traitor! There is just no way!
Okay. That's something Inez Savage.
Then nobody will be saved.
Chiaki is not the traitor!
When we were trying to turn off the bomb, didn't Chiaki use the card reader right away?
If she's a traitor, she would have been more cautious! There's no way Chiaki would have known if that bomb was fake or not! The only person who knew it was a fake was me, when I tried to detonate it!
Unless you know a whole lot about bombs, there's no way you know if it's fake just by looking at it.
Chiaki is not the traitor!
When we were trying to turn off the bomb, didn't Chiaki use the card reader right away?
If she's a traitor, she would have been more cautious! There's no way Chiaki would have known if that bomb was fake or not! The only person who knew it was a fake was
Also,
me,
your 10
when
years
I
should
tried
not
to
be watching
detonate
this
it.
at all. Oh, damn. Okay, that's not it.
Chiaki is not the traitor!
When we were trying to turn off the bomb, didn't Chiaki use the card reader right away?
If she's a traitor, she would have been more cautious! There's no way Chiaki would have known if that bomb was fake or not!
I got it. I know.
The only person who knew it was a fake was
like, this
me,
is not meant to
when I tried to
continue.
detonate it!
Unless you know a whole lot about bombs, there's no way you know if it's fake just by looking at it.
Chiaki is not the traitor!
When we were trying to turn off the bomb, didn't Chiaki use the card reader right away?
If she's a traitor, she would have been more cautious!
Not exactly. No, what?
Damn it!
Come on. No. Hang on. Yeah. I screwed up. I had the right idea, but the wrong statement.
We will never give up!
Okay, let's do this again. I have the right idea, just one statement.
Chiaki is not the traitor!
When we were trying to turn off the bomb,
Seriously, if you're 10 years old, this is
didn't
not the kind
Chiaki
of
use
game
the
you
card
should be
reader right
watching.
away?
Again, 10 years old.
If she's a traitor, she would have been more cautious.
Call of Duty
There's
and
no way Chiaki would have known
GTA, but this is worse.
if that bomb was fake or not!
At least in my opinion.
The only person who knew it was a fake was me, when I tried to detonate it!
That's not it! That's not it. Sonia shouldn't have been the only one who knew it was a fake. Monami was also there when you found out the bomb at the military base wasn't real. You said so yourself.
Is that true, Miss Sonia?
Chiaki heard about it from Monami. That's why she knew the bomb was a fake.
Since I've been found out, the reason I couldn't tell anyone I knew the bomb was a fake was I would have had to explain how I heard about it from Monami.
I did not want to hear that! Enough already. I do not want this anymore. I am so very tired of doubting people.
I don't blame you.
Sonia.
And just because does not mean we should just...
How would you know?
Even if she knew the bomb was fake, that does not prove Chiaki is the traitor. If that counts as evidence, I should be doubted too. After all, I also knew the bomb was fake.
Knowing it was a fake isn't the problem. What matters is who told her. What matters is that she heard about it from Monami.
There was someone other than me and Monami who knew that bomb was fake. That someone is Monokuma. Monokuma said so earlier, correct? He knows everything about this island.
No, wait.
There was someone other than me and Monami who knew that bomb was fake.
I wish I didn't have to do this.
That someone is Monokuma. Monokuma said so earlier. He knows everything. Monokuma probably told Chiaki that it was fake beforehand.
No. I wish it was right, but what's wrong?
You're right. Monokuma probably knew the bomb was a fake.
But
Monokuma shouldn't have told anyone either.
he said so himself. Then when did Nagito obtain the bomb? I wonder. If I'm gonna give you the guys a hint. You a guy's hint. Then you should know it wasn't from the military base. To tell you the truth, the bombs there are all fakes. I know that already. You should have said so earlier. Well, I thought if they kept quiet, it would foreshadow if killing was going to happen. Yeah.
That... Monokuma may have just been lying.
No, he won't lie at times like this. You already know that.
Hajime, are you going to believe Monokuma over Chiaki?
That's not it.
That's not it.
It's just, even if Chiaki is the traitor, is it really okay to vote for her? That basically just means we have to believe in Nagito's luck, right?
Well, yeah.
That's not it.
Telling us to trust his luck? Are you telling us to entrust our lives to that bastard?
There's no way I can believe in Nagito.
I'm telling you, that's not it. We shouldn't believe in Monokuma or Nagito. We have to believe in Chiaki.
Huh?
It doesn't matter who the traitor is. Even if Chiaki is the traitor, that's not the Chiaki I know.
Oh.
I believe in the Chiaki who's been with us this whole time.
Oh.
That Chiaki is saying she wants to protect us with her life. So the only thing we can do is believe her. If we don't, nobody's going to be saved.
Damn it.
Hey, can you listen to me a little? There's nothing to be sad about, you know? 'Cause, unlike before, you guys can stay alive by believing in me.
Are you telling us to believe in you and sacrifice you? That is just too cruel.
I'm sorry.
Chiaki!
Monami, I'm sorry too. You're probably gonna get scolded by a lot of different people for this.
No kidding.
But still, I want to protect everyone by any means. And I'm happy that I'm able to do that.
It's not up to me to decide whether that's right or wrong. However, I believe it's truly amazing that you were able to think like that.
I know, right?
We could even call this a miracle.
Hey, what have you two been talking about? Everyone's jaws are dropping, you know?
It's obvious, isn't it?
I know. It's voting time, right?
Hey,
Chiaki.
Chiaki.
You don't have to worry. Believe in me, and cast your vote.
Damn it!
Why did it end up like this?
Because Nagito's a bastard. He didn't want him to end up like this, but that's what happens. That's how the cookie crumbles. It's not fair. I feel the same as everyone else does. There's no way I can agree to this. Emptiness, loneliness, sadness. But most of all, I'm ashamed of my weakness. But even so, I have to move forward. if we believe in the person who's urging us forward, then we have to start walking and believe with as much hope as possible in what lies ahead.
Even so.
The first time we actually get to vote. That's depressing. All rise. Man, I'm pooped. Let's go ahead and announce the result. The traitor from the Future Foundation and Nagito Komeda's killer is Yaki Nanami.
Damn it!
Are you serious? That was correct.
Yeah.
The fact that Yaki is the traitor. The fact that Nagito's crime to put it entirely on luck. Everything was true.
Damn it.
Plus that means the bastard managed to pull this off.
Congratulations, everyone.
Damn it.
Stupid. We're not celebrating at all.
Damn it!
Yaki, let me ask you one more time. Are you really part of the Future Foundation? An agent of the organization that brought us to this island? Is that really your identity?
I'm sorry I didn't tell you guys.
What?
That is...
There's no choice but to believe.
I'm sorry.
It would have been better if I could have just said it sooner, but I couldn't say it no matter what.
'Cause...
I can't betray the Future Foundation. Can't betray.
Well?
Even if you want to fly, you can't, right? Even if you want to swim where you please, you can't, right? It's the same for me. Due to the nature of my existence, I will never be able to betray the Future Foundation. What the heck? But in the end, you did something similar. What you did is no different than sharing your secret yourself. You're right.
Why?
Now it's not the time to start laughing.
Well?
But strangely enough, I don't have any regrets. In fact, I'm somewhat happy. I was able to think of what I wanted to protect everyone. That's why I feel proud of my actions. You're still saying things I don't get, but if we ask you anything, you're just not gonna answer, right? Like if we asked why you were in the Future Foundation and stuff.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
That is...
Even though if you were a traitor, you never betrayed us. Yaki, you'll always be our friend, even now. We don't blame you for this. That's why you don't need to apologize.
Yeah.
So the traitor was revealed and Chiaki lost. In the end, it all went according to Nagito's plan, huh?
Like...
About that. Was that really Nagito's goal? Is it really okay to say he was trying to find the killer and eliminate them? So, isn't that strange? Strange?
So...
I mean, we nearly lost, right? If Chiaki hadn't said anything, we definitely would have lost. You've raised a good point. That's exactly it. Even though Nagito said he would weed out the traitor, he never said he would kill the traitor. Huh?
Yes, indeed!
Congratulations! You successfully stopped Nagito's plan. I mean, Nagito's plan was to reveal the traitor and kill everyone else besides the traitor. Kill everyone besides the traitor? That
you
was Nagito's
serious?
goal.
Huh?
Why would he do something like that? Of all the... To form a plan that only the traitor would survive? Is that bastard really that twisted?
Nope.
It's okay. Okay? What?
Well?
I mean, it's not Nagito's fault. If the circumstances had been different, he probably wouldn't have taken things so far. Chiaki, you really are a kind-hearted person. You think so? Jeez, I wonder where you got your personality from.
Perhaps.
Maybe our dad and our big brother, don't you think?
Hey, come
Don't go
on
talking
now.
about your family all of a sudden. That's totally ripping off Teru.
I can't lose.
Then I cannot lose to Chiaki. Just like Chiaki and everyone else. Even if it's a fight I cannot win.
Hi-ya!
I must try to retaliate.
Huh?
Retaliate.